All right, so we're ready to get started on our first story. In order to make a story on Twine using the Taleweaver site, you're going to have to go to the Twine editor. You can access that by hovering over the Create tab and clicking on the Twine editor. My suggestion is that you work on your Twine editor in a separate tab than the lessons. By having it in a separate tab, you can continue to work on it as you progress through the lessons, because if you close the tab, you might lose your progress. Alternatively, if you'd like to download this program onto your computer so you don't have to worry about switching tabs, you're definitely welcome to download it for Windows, Macs, or Linux. I prefer to use it online, and so I'm going to click the option Use it online. Here we are. I'm signed into my account already. You can choose to sign up for an account so that you can save your stories in the cloud and access them anywhere, or you can just use the app. Be aware that if you're not signed in, your stories will not automatically be saved, and you will either have to manually save them and download them, or keep your browser tab open for the duration of the project. Let's start a new story. I've got one here already called The Dragon's Lair, and I'm going to create a new story by clicking this green button that says plus story or add story. So I click on it, and I'm going to call this new story The Secret Treasure. All right. And once I have a title for my story, I can click add, and it will automatically open up the application where I can start editing the story. So the story is made up of what they call passages, and passages are little tiles with text on them that are the different parts of the story. We are eventually going to branch out to multiple different options for the endings for our story, but for now, we're just going to get started with our first passage, which is currently named Untitled Passage. I can edit this by double-clicking it, and I can change things such as the title or the text that's contained within. Untitled Passage is not a very good name for one of our tiles, because when we have dozens and dozens of them, trying to locate one and figure out what it means without having to open it up is not going to happen if it's called Untitled Passage. So instead, I'm going to call this Intro, okay, because it's going to be an introduction to our story. Now, I've actually already written a bit of a story, and I am just going to copy and paste that into our browser here, and I'll give it a little read. Here's the intro to our story. Long ago, in a faraway land, there lived a young girl named Hannah. She lived on a little farm with her parents, who were so poor that they had only one scrawny chicken. Oh, Hannah's mother said, if only we had more money, then we wouldn't have to share one single egg as our only meal. Yes, said her father, we might even be able to each have our own. This and many other things they would say day after day. Hannah only wished there was some way to make them happy. One day, Hannah woke up just as the sun peeked through the rickety slats of her little farmhouse. That's the beginning of our story. We've gone through how to create a new story and how to edit our first tile. Next, we're going to talk about how to create branching options for our readers so they can decide which direction the story should go.